Hello, hello. Okay, we're double living. I haven't done a live on Facebook in a million years. We are in all the meta places. We are on Instagram. We are on Facebook. Wow. Making it happen. Making it happen. Say hi to me as you are hopping on so that I know that you are here. Oh. Hey, Sister Vic, how are you? How are you going? I don't even know if my Facebook live stream is even working. I guess I should go see. I literally have not gone live on Facebook for so long that I don't even know. I don't even know what it looks like anymore. So I'm super excited because I'm going to just talk about all the things today, I think, like a little update. But I have officially had no alcohol at all for 11 months. And I have been carnivore also for 11 months. So I have completely, radically shifted and changed everything about my diet in the last year. And my life, like not just my diet, I guess, also my lifestyle. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about it and share the little bits of updates that are happening in my life and in the world. So, yeah, and again, say hi if you're hopping on. So I know you're here. And if you're watching the replay, give me hashtag replay. Let me know that you were here. So 2022 and 2023 were like these years of absolute deconstruction in my life. And yeah, like while it was happening, I think I felt like the whole world was ending. And in hindsight, I'm so incredibly grateful for everything that happened and everything that occurred, because I'm sitting here today, like talking to you from a place of being happier, more content, more just at peace in my life than maybe I've ever been in my life, which I know is kind of like, that's saying a lot, but I don't remember ever feeling just like this okay. So I was not an alcoholic by any means. Like I wasn't a person who was, I definitely have abused alcohol in my life. Like I'm not gonna say that that's not the case. I grew up in a really heavy drinking friend group. And alcohol has always been a really enmeshed part of my life, ingrained part of my life from a social perspective. And just everyone around me always drank, and holidays always centered around drinking and alcohol, and like I was very much just in that life, and it was a part of my life, and I didn't recognize and realize just how much I had been using alcohol to numb my emotions, my feelings, and really to like mask the overall unhappiness that I was feeling. So I've recently, I'm not gonna like go too much into that whole story. I've actually recently recorded 3 new podcast episodes, and they are available on House of Wealth, which you can stream anywhere podcasts are streamed. You can definitely go check out House of Wealth. The last 3 episodes are a lot about my journey over the last 11 months. But what I wanted to talk about today is one of the benefits that I've had actually from cutting out alcohol. So I guess I'll just share with you, like one of the reasons why I actually decided to cut out alcohol was because I've had thyroid issue and thyroid disease for about 10 years now. And it's been incredibly difficult for me to manage because it flips between hypothyroidism, and reverse T3 syndrome. And so it's been incredibly difficult to navigate. And also, after having Jack, I was vegan and breastfed for 3.5 years, and I was not aware at the time that I had the MTHFR gene mutation, which is a gene mutation that makes it incredibly difficult for me to absorb nutrients from my food. So I just think basically what happened to me was I wasn't getting any nutrients, and not getting any nutrients then led to me completely crashing my endocrine system. And I was really, really unhealthy. And I gained a lot of weight, and 35 pounds, in fact, that I didn't have before that diagnosis happened. And I knew, like, I had known for a few years that I needed to stop drinking. And I didn't really fully grasp and understand the impact and effect of alcohol, especially on women, once you hit 40. And I've since done literally like all the research. I have, been studying all the papers. I have been looking at all the information and all the statistics and all just how horrific alcohol is in the body of 40 plus. I mean, in everybody's body, really, right? Let's just be completely real. But women over 40 especially, it does no favors for our sex hormones and our endocrine system. And I knew that I needed to stop drinking in order to heal this. And so when I made that decision on August 13th of last year, August 14th was the last drink I had, I think, of wine, last glass of wine. Maybe it was the 13th or 14th. Anyway, it's been 11 months now. I did it because I was so tired of being sick and tired. My body was so inflamed. Like, I'm gonna post some pictures later today so you guys can actually just see what I'm talking about. But the inflammation in my face and in my body and in my joints was ridiculous. Now, that came not just from drinking alcohol, but also from eating food that was not good for me, that was genetically modified and engineered, and sugar and gluten and lots of stuff that didn't agree with my body. So August 14th, I believe August 14th was my last glass of wine, or it was the first day that I didn't have any alcohol. I can't remember for sure now. I'll have to go back and look at my notes. But by August 18th, I was also completely carnivore. I had adopted a animal-based eating lifestyle, and I was completely carnivore, like completely carnivore for about 9 months. And then I, over the last couple of months, have slowly started reintroducing some fruit. So I said on a call the other day, I thought I was about 85% animal-based, but I think I'm actually probably still about 90%. So 90% only animal-based foods, and about 10% foods from outside the animal group, which is really only fruits at this point. But within about a month of completely cutting out alcohol and becoming carnivore, all the pain in my body was gone. And I was living in a significant amount of pain. A significant amount. And so now, like, I've got a few little things that I'm still dealing with. I have some degeneration of my C5 and my C6, and I have some compression of my L4 and my L5. So I do still get some little tweaks. Like, I've got a little neck thing happening right now. I have a degenerated shoulder from a rotator cuff tear that still gives me some problems, but I work out 4 to 5 times a week. I lift heavy weights. I am like very, very active. And that is coming from like a completely sedentary lifestyle a year ago. And so it's been a huge shift and a huge change. And I'm so like, well, I was talking about this, how horrible alcohol is, like, as we're going through perimenopause, into menopause, postmenopausal. And I just didn't realize it, because I think we're not taught about it. It's not shared with us enough. And it has just been wild, like how my body, and our body knows what to do. Our body knows how to heal. It's just literally that when we are putting poison into it, and when we are putting these foods into our body that our body actually can't even metabolize and process anymore because it's so genetically modified, then we're sick. And so when I cut all of that stuff out, I started feeling better. And I'll share these photos later, and you guys are just gonna be like, what? Because the inflammation in my face, my cheeks were like, I can't even explain how puffy my cheeks were and how much inflammation I had in all of my body. And the inflammation just led to so much pain. Seed oils also, like I have had no seed oils. And when I go out to eat, it's so funny because if I go out to eat and like I order a steak, I can tell within about 15 to 20 minutes if they have put oil on my steak, because my whole body starts to respond. My joints start hurting. It's wild. So like, it's not a myth. This thing that people are telling you about seed oils, like it is real, okay? Like my biggest 2 recommendations to anyone: cut out alcohol, cut out seed oils. Like I'm not even asking everybody to become a carnivore, but I'm like, if you can cut out alcohol, you can cut out seed oils, and you are over 40, you are gonna see a dramatic improvement in your health. I think the biggest surprise for me in this whole thing though has been the improvement of my mental health. Like I would have told you a year ago that I was not somebody who ever had been depressed. I would tell you that like my emotions were like really even, but the reality was they weren't. I was just numbing them. And last year, I went into a really, what I would say is a really bad depression. And I felt depressed for the first time in my life. And like alcohol wasn't masking it, right? I wasn't able to move through it because my whole life was falling apart. And then removing the alcohol after that and starting to actually feel all the feels and feel emotion and starting to actually feel all the... Oh, good. Now I can see the comments on Facebook. I couldn't see the comments before. Hey, Davina. She's like, I'm so happy I gave up alcohol. Oh my gosh. I have to tell you guys, like, I don't crave it. I don't crave it. I don't want it. I actually talked a little bit about this on my last podcast in relation to like breaking agreements with generational alcohol spirit curses in my family. So if you want to know more about that, you could definitely go check that out. But yeah, it's been really like, from a mental health perspective, like I just feel happy and I have no desire to have a glass of wine. We were at a really nice restaurant the other night, and these people, you know, the waitress brought out these 2 like beautiful glasses of white wine. Like the glass was beautiful. It was like frosty on the bottom of the glass because we were in Bali and it was being delivered outside, and it looked so refreshing. And I looked at it and I was like, oh my gosh, that looks so beautiful. Like looking at it looked beautiful. I'm like, that looks so refreshing. And then I was like, do I want that? And I was like, nope. Like there was no part of me that wanted that. And I was like, that's really amazing. And it honestly is just that I feel so good now that I wouldn't trade how I feel for one night of something that I thought for some reason was going to be fun. And also I think like I have drank all the alcohol and I've been to all the parties and I have done all of that my whole entire life. And I'm like really interested now in living a different type of lifestyle, right? Like now I'm like, oh, what is it like to see how far I can take my body as far as peak performance? You know, like I'm in the era of I want to enter a fitness competition before I'm 50. Like that's the era I'm in now. Like stem cell regeneration and what kind of supplements can I get my hands on that are going to help me perform like at a higher peak of performance and be stronger in the gym and get better sleep. And so what a difference a year makes, I guess, is what I would say. So I wanted to come on and talk also, though, because as I think you've seen, if you've been following me, I've partnered with a company called Frequence, and I'm absolutely in love with the supplements. They, again, like one of the things that I've realized and was diagnosed with through this whole crazy health journey I've been on over the last 10 years was I do have the MTHFR gene mutation. And so the realization in figuring that out was that, even though like there had been periods of time when I had been taking lots of supplements, I would often feel so much worse on the supplement regimens that I would be put on by doctors. So doctors would be like, okay, you've got all these things wrong with you and you need to do X, Y, and Z. Like you need to take this supplement and this supplement and this supplement, and you need to go get these IVs, right? Like you need to, I was for a long time doing weekly IVs, and I would feel horrible afterwards. Like for a couple of days, I would just feel shit. And I was like, what, all of this stuff is supposed to be making me feel better. Like, why do I feel worse when I'm following these regimens that these doctors are putting me on? So I discovered that I have the gene mutation, and essentially it does two things. One, I don't absorb the nutrients that I'm meant to be getting from the supplements, and some of them don't get processed or metabolized appropriately in my body, and so they make me more toxic than I was prior to taking them. And they're harder on my liver, and it, creates a, like, what I want to say is like a vessel of toxicity, because that's literally what it would feel like. And I'm having a hard time looking. I'm double live streaming you guys, so on Facebook, if you feel like I'm not looking at you, that's why I'm looking at all the cameras. So I started like researching and finding out like, what's the biggest culprit of this? Why am I not feeling good? And one of the things that I discovered straight away was like, okay, I need to be really careful with my B vitamins. They need to be methylated. Like I can't be just getting these IVs with massive amounts of B vitamins pumped into my bloodstream that I can't actually metabolize, that turn my body toxic, which was why I wasn't feeling good when I was getting the IVs. I also have some other genetic predispositions that don't enable me to actually process toxins out of my body as quickly as other people. So in addition to MTHFR, I've got a couple of other things as well. And so I have to be really careful about the supplements that I take. And so when I decided to go carnivore, like I went off everything. I literally stopped drinking and only ate animal products, and that was it. I did not do any supplementation because I just was like, I need to heal my body. My body needs a reset. I need to heal my body. And I started out with carnivore, first of all, because of a lot of the research that I had done with the stuff that I was dealing with, including, my thyroid stuff, my endocrine system stuff, my inflammation. And I started following Michaela Peterson and researching the Lion diet and the carnivore diet. And I just made a decision that I was like, okay, I'm going to do this for 8 weeks. Like that was my original plan. I can do anything for 8 weeks. I'm going to do this for 8 weeks, and I'm going to see how I feel. But literally within 2 weeks, I felt so much better. Like so much better. And the rest is history. Obviously, I'm still primarily animal based. I was completely carnivore, as I mentioned, for 9 months. And my body's still healing. Like there are still things that are being addressed and healing that's happening, that I feel healthier and better than I can't remember really. So it had to have been like very, very young in my life. So, and I'm 40, I'll be 48 in December. And yeah, like lift heavy weights 4 to 5 times a week, working out, prioritize sauna, ice bath, sun as much as I can, though I've been slacking on that the last couple of weeks, and I need to like get back on to getting my regular sun, because that has helped so much and so significantly as well. but I wasn't taking any supplements. And then I got to the point where I was like, as I mentioned, like I'm so interested in peak performance right now. Like now I'm in the era of become a superhuman, right? Like that's what I want to do now. Not have the most fun, but now it's like become a superhuman. And so I started looking into supplements and peptides and, you know, different things that I could do or supplement that were going to actually help me have better performance at the gym, transform my body more quickly, but wanted to do it in a really natural way. The other thing that I did is I have not done any Botox or any fillers, any synthetic fillers of any kind for 2.5 years. So one of the things that I realized was that the fillers and the Botox were also taxing my liver. And again, with these gene mutations, I just don't process the toxins out of my body the way that other people do. So I was putting botulism in my body, and then my body wasn't actually able to detox that, and then it was overtaxing my kidneys and my liver, and it was a mess. So I've completely stopped doing that. I have, in the last 2 months, been doing some peptide injections in my face to stimulate collagen growth. But again, they're like salmon DNA, essentially, is what I'm injecting into my face. I've had no lip filler, I've had no cheek fillers, but I can tell you that the carnivore diet has dramatically increased my collagen production in my body. It's tightening everything up in my face and in my skin. So I've been like incredibly happy from an anti-aging perspective with the diet and the lack of alcohol as well. And obviously with carnivore, I'm not having any sugar. So sugar is like, you want to age yourself, keep eating sugar. You want to stop aging, stop eating sugar. Like, it's all the research on that. It's all out there. You can find it, right? But we don't want to do this because we like things that taste good, and we like food that, you know, we like desserts, and we like sweets, and we love bread, and we love pasta, and we make all these excuses for why we can't cut that stuff out, but it's slowly killing us. So I started looking into peptides, and one of the things that I started supplementing with is glycine, which is a powdered peptide, and I do take that multiple times a week, and I like that. It really helps with like sleep and regeneration. That's been amazing. And I started taking creatine. I'm actually off creatine right now because I don't know, my body started rejecting it. I'd go to drink it and I'd want to throw up, so I stopped taking it. But I do take creatine off and on, which is great for brain health and also muscle recovery, right? So some natural peptides I was taking. But then I was introduced to Frequence. And Frequence is this incredible mental health and wellness company that has created this line of supplements that they've been very, very intentional about the development of and production quality of, including that all of the B vitamins in the supplement line are methylated, which is huge because if you have the MTHFR gene mutation, you can only take methylated B vitamins. So I was like, that sold me. I, had been playing around with a few nootropics, but I hadn't been experiencing any results from them. And so I was really interested in trying their nootropic product, which is called Rise. It's actually in this cup right here. It's powder, it's a powder form. It tastes amazing. It does not taste like mushrooms at all. It has 7 organic mushrooms, nootropics, and high dose methylated B vitamins. It gives me incredible energy throughout the day. It helps me so much with mental health, as far as like my cognition and my focus. I definitely have a squirrel brain, and I typically have 10 million tabs open at any given time on my computer, and my phone, and so it's really difficult for me to like zone in on something and complete tasks typically, but this helps so much. I'm like, I can literally get things checked off my to-do list, which I love. And they have a incredible trace mineral product that helps so much with absorption. So if you are an MTHFR gene mutation person, which by the way, 70% of the population has this gene mutation, we now know. And regardless of whether you have the gene mutation or not, our soils are depleted across the planet. So we are not getting the nutrients out of our food that our parents or our grandparents or our great-grandparents were getting. Our food is just really, really depleted of nutrients. The more genetically modified our food becomes, the less nutritious it becomes, and it's a real problem. So the trace minerals, which actually are sourced in Salt Lake City, Utah, my old hometown, are incredible for absorption and gut health and gut repair. And so I put the dropper of the trace minerals in with the nootropics. And if you're in the United States, they have absolutely incredible sleep products that have CBD and CBG in them. We call it the bedtime bestie. It's called Sync. It's a regeneration product. So it has collagen, GABA, magnesium, CBD, and CBN in it. And it's amazing. Like, both Sean and I are like, we will not sleep without it. Like, it is the best product. It is like, I'm in love with it. I'm so in love with it. And then they have an incredible CBD, CBG tincture also. And they have a amazing face cream, and they have an amazing pain relief cream. So I partnered with this company, and I'm absolutely loving these supplements. They also really support the reduction of cortisol and inflammation. And I think that this has been the thing that has been the most powerful in me feeling better, is reduction of inflammation and reduction of cortisol. Stress and high cortisol levels are at epidemic levels, like around the globe. Especially in America, I think, though, like right now, especially with everything that's happening in the political climate, like people are stressed, inflation is crazy, people don't have money to pay their bills, and it's stressful, right? Like, so anything that we can do to actually reduce cortisol and reduce stress is powerful. So I've been on these products for 2.5 months, and I thought my inflammation was greatly reduced. And I was just looking back at pictures of myself from before I started these products. So remember, I had been not drinking alcohol and on carnivore. So I'd already reduced inflammation so much in my body. I'm gonna post these pictures later, but when you see me 2.5 months ago to today, and my weight has not shifted. I think maybe I've lost 1.5 kilos in that time. So my weight has not significantly shifted in that time, but my inflammation has gone down even further from taking these products. And then just the overall support and mood stabilization has been amazing and incredible. So we are doing a 5-day, it's called the Sip to Dip Challenge. And it's literally sip the product to dip inflammation, stress, cortisol, okay, and maybe a little bit of weight. These are not weight loss products, by the way, but so many people report weight loss. They do reduce inflammation, they do reduce cortisol, and a natural occurrence of those two things happening, obviously, is weight loss. But that is not the focus of what these products are for. But we have this absolutely incredible leader in the company who is a nutritionist and a health coach and a wellness coach. And she has put together this epic 5-day detox nutritional food program to go along with the supplements. And so we put together this sip to dip experience where you can try the products and do the 5-day detox and significantly dip your inflammation and cortisol. So I'm super excited about this. It's a great opportunity to introduce everyone to these epic supplements and products. I love this company for so many reasons. And if you are interested in the business opportunity of Frequency, you can definitely reach out to me about that as well. I have looked at and evaluated 29 different network marketing opportunities in the last 10 months, and I have not come across a compensation plan like this one. It is truly superior to anything else that I've seen out on the market. We're paid on the real dollar. There are 5 ways to get paid. The compensation plan is very easy to understand. the company's amazing. The leaders are amazing. We have a $10,000 training platform that is free if you join our team. There's an epic promotion right now where if you buy personal product, you get your affiliate membership fee free. You get a ticket, a virtual ticket to our convention, or an in-person ticket to our convention if you want to come hang out with me in Dallas next month for free, like with a $500 product order. So if you want to know more about Frequence the opportunity and Frequence the supplements and place a larger personal product order, then definitely just send me a DM that says Frequence or Rise, or tell me about the supplements, Leah, and I can definitely do that. But this Sip to Dip challenge is going to be really exciting. So I have a 5-day experience that I can sell you for $35. Or if you want to do the Rise and the Bedtime Bestie, the Sync, you can do the 5 days for $55. And you can do this and you get this detox program free. Okay, so we give you this 5-day nutritional program to dip your cortisol and inflammation for free. You get a support group, you get videos every day. Like, it's going to be an epic, awesome detox that's happening on the 29th of the month. It kicks off on the 29th of the month. So if you've been wanting to try the Frequence supplements, or you're just watching this for the first time and you're like, yes, I need to reduce cortisol, yes, I need to reduce inflammation, send me a DM and I will definitely walk you through everything. We can talk about the best way to proceed, whether you want to just buy the 5-day experience or you want to buy a month of the product to try. I cannot recommend them enough. Like, they've been life-changing for me. I love everything about them. Yeah, and they're very, very intentional in how they're creating these products, and that's the other thing that I think is really, really important. They are producing their products in a facility that is really like the gold standard in network marketing from a supplement and cosmetic production perspective. And their COAs are incredible. They provide them. And yeah, so I'm loving the supplements. I'm loving the company. I'm loving my journey with Frequence, and I'm excited to begin sharing more with you. So it's just a little bit about my story, my story of reduction of inflammation and cortisol and what's helping me and what I love. We just did super, super intense blood tests. I just did another crazy panel of blood tests. I have been doing blood tests. By the way, I know people have been interested in this about Carnivore. I guess I'll just share this before I pop off. I just had my second set of blood work come back since going Carnivore. And my blood work is amazing. I had a weird electrolyte imbalance thing happen in the last month, and we're figuring that out. That was just one thing that happened, but I think it was actually due to getting some bad peptides, and that's actually what threw off my bad injectable peptides here in Bali, and that threw off my electrolyte balance. So I had about 2 weeks of not feeling very well, and that was actually reflected in my electrolyte imbalance in my blood work. But other than that, everything looks amazing. All my markers are ideal, and that had not been the case prior to going on. Everything was so out of whack in my blood work, and everything, all my hormones, everything. It's everything is perfect in my blood test. Apart from I have high cholesterol, but we all know that cholesterol is bullshit now, right? My HDL to triglyceride level is optimal. I do just have high cholesterol because I eat only animal products. But that's just my LDL cholesterol is high. Other than that, my labs are looking perfect, and that's really exciting. So I am actually getting ready to go on a entire regimen of peptides, and I'm going to be doing some exosome treatments on my superhuman quest. So I'll be sharing more about that journey as well as I go on it. But as far as what I'm taking on a daily basis, the other thing about these supplements with Frequence that I love is it's all in, everything is in these 3 supplements. So I don't actually have to take anything else. I take my Rise and my Source in one drink in the morning, and then at night before I go to bed, I take my little packet of Sync, and I get my collagen, I get my magnesium, I get my trace minerals, I get my nootropics, I get my 7 organic mushrooms, all in just these 2 things. And I hate taking supplements, so it's really good for me that I can like have it all encompassed in one place. So that's my little spiel about frequency today. I am now going to go to the gym and work out, and then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna get some sun, and I'm gonna sauna, and I'm gonna spend some time with the Lord today, and I'm gonna spend some time with my kids today, and I think that's it. So have a beautiful and blessed, there's Jack over there. Say hi. Have a beautiful and blessed, let's show Instagram. Say hi. Say hi, Jack. Oh wait, whoa. Say hi, Jack. He's not gonna say hi. Hi. Oh my gosh. There we go.
Depends.
Have a, Facebook just got the seat all the way up my nose. Have a beautiful and blessed rest of your day, morning, evening, wherever you are in the world as you're catching this live stream with me, or you're joining on the replay. And again, if you are here on the replay, give me a hashtag replay. If you want to know more about my journey, definitely go check out House of Wealth podcast. The last 3 episodes are an in-depth deep dive into what's been happening in my world.
Did you at least
and then, yeah, you want to know more about frequency? Pop into my messenger and let's chat about it. Ciao.
Did you at least? Did you at least?